In less than 5 minutes, I'm going to show you how to completely dominate in Chivalry 2. If all you care about is getting your hands on those soft, supple archers, but can't find yourself getting close enough to make them squeal, then this tip is for you. Utilize the environment to conceal your movement so that you can get in range before they realize what's happening. Most of the time you shouldn't need to work that hard, and you can just walk up and bonk them on the head. There is an unwritten rule in Chivalry, which is that archers are not to be defended, so generally speaking, once the enemy realizes that you're going for the archer, they'll leave you alone. I highly recommend that you abuse this rule by using your own weak and useless archers as bait. Vanguards have the lowest HP pool out of any of the melee classes, and as such they think it's necessary to prance around the field. For dealing with Vanguards, I recommend just throwing out random swings from the maul, bonking them on the arm until they die. Alternatively, and ideally, you just walk up to them when they're already engaged in combat, and slap them in the back with a hammer. Now dealing with a knight is a little bit different because they have the most HP out of any class in the game, so I wouldn't recommend dealing with a knight head on. Instead, get behind the knight when he's not looking and hit him in the back of the head with the maul. If you ever have to face a Vanguard and a knight at the same time, approach the Vanguard from behind and hit him in the head with the maul while he's already engaged in combat, then hit the knight in the back of the head while he's already engaged in combat. The Footman is sort of a cross between the Vanguard's agility and the knight's durability. I recommend engaging this class from above with a surprise maul attack to the head. Alternatively, you can approach them from behind and hit them in the back of the head with the maul. So when dealing with a Footman and a knight at the same time, we're going to use the previous two strategies. We're going to come in high on the Footman, and then go straight for the rear. And then we're going to go to the knight while he's already engaged in combat and bonk him on the back of the head with the maul. So here's how we deal with all three classes at the same time. We bait the knight into a 1 versus 1 until a teammate bonks him in the back of the head. Then we finish him off. Approach the Vanguard while he's engaged in combat. We're going to bonk him in the back of the head with the maul. Then we're going to follow up by doing the same to the Footman. To ensure that you never lose a duel, always try to pick odds that are no less than 3 to 1. On the other hand, if you ever find yourself outnumbered, bonk the most immediate threats on the head with the maul and retreat. Engage AFK players as often as possible and use the maul for the highest chance of one-shotting them so that they don't have time to get back to their controls and defend themselves. However, if they do get back in time, throw out a kick to break their guard and finish the job. When you're clearly outmatched by a fancy Dan with a quick knife, throw your maul at him and bonk him in the nuts for a surprise attack. When the enemy is on their hands and knees, crawling, begging, crying out, it's important that you finish them off. Before their team gets a chance to revive them, I recommend hitting them in the back with the maul. If there's only one thing that you take away from this video, it should be that the maul is the ideal weapon on the battlefield. However, you should understand the risk of the maul, which is that it is a very strong weapon, and even though team damage is reduced, this weapon is strong enough that it can potentially lead to a team kill. This is a risk that you have to be willing to take if you're going to play on the same team as someone who is using the maul. If you liked this content and want to see more of it, it's important that you start harassing all of your friends and family to subscribe to my channel. Put it on your grandma's wall, show it to your uncle, show it to your class, ask everybody to subscribe, and maybe I'll start making more than a few videos a year. Until next time.
Help! Help! Hey! Help me! Help! Yeah! Yeah! For the red and black! For It was nothing! By my power! You're welcome! Yeah! For me! Bring it out! Yes! Yes!